everybody, how is it going? Welcome back to the hashtag Lockboss Show and Giveaway. Not only are we going to be announcing this week's 5 lucky winners, we get to have Mr. Phil in the house with Framon. Phil.
I'm becoming a regular.
Yes, thank you once again for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And of course,
great to be here.
We're going to be drinking Topo Chicos. Cheers to everyone out there as well, whether you're drinking a Topo or your favorite beverage of choice. Man, Phil, we've been meeting all day. We just recorded a video. We're going to be talking about the product here just a little bit, but then you'll see a video where you'll get kind of a little bit of a demonstration. We'll kind of go into a little bit more in depth maybe on it. I guess we haven't talked about it, so I don't know if we'll be going into more in depth than we did in the video, but we'll find out. But Phil, so how's it been? I mean, we've been here talking all day, hanging out.
Yep.
I've been hopped up on coffee and Zip Fizz. True story.
Yeah, absolutely true. Finally, it's becoming clear how you do as much as you do. So, I see what fuels it.
Yeah, exactly. But you're hanging out today. Actually, let's go ahead and let's do a couple things here. Here in a little bit, we'll go in depth with Phil. I see everyone's already putting a few questions in here. So is what we'll do is we'll talk about those questions, or I should say, I'll ask those questions here in just a few minutes, as well as talk about a few things. I even see some of you wanting free sample machines, And I tell you what, we will have some fun. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So let's go ahead and hop in here. Julio, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and, play a little music, say hi to everybody. And as we kind of get the show fired up. All right, Julio, thanks for that. Thank you for not playing the confession music because I'm really not in the mood with Phil sitting here to do any confessions. But all right, so let's go ahead and go over the posts of the week. And you know what? I apologize. I just realized it still says season 3.3. This is season 3.4. So just keep that in mind here. So whoa. All right, here we go. This one comes from, this post comes from John K. John says, thank you to everyone at CLK Supplies. I just got a chance to open the package because I got hit on my 1957 Harley and was just released from the hospital. Oh, John, man. Sorry to hear about that. I'm glad you're okay, though. He says, this is the coolest package ever. You guys and gals really brighten my day. So many great things to wear and show who my favorite people are. Thank you again, Pete, Lockfather, Trina, Billy, Dave, Aaron, Royal, Kylie, Lily, Michaela, and Ian. You are all the best. John, well, hey. First of all, glad to hear you're doing okay. Thank you for sending the photo in. And most importantly, I just want to say thank you for your business and the support that you give us here. So without you, none of this is possible. So really appreciate it. Next up, we have a photo from Jimmy J. Jimmy says, I looked at Milwaukee and put all of those Milwaukee tools in my heart stacking system. LOL. Sometimes the more you advertise that you have awesome, good quality pack-up boxes, you also show people you might have a bunch of money tied up in those boxes and everything in them is Milwaukee, which they might think of stealing. Very true, Jimmy. Yes. Thank you for sending the photo. Very cool, man. Love the van. Nice and clean. And man, I like it a lot. Nice work on that. Which, Phil, by the way, let's talk about the pack out systems.
Sure. Okay.
So I don't know, it was a couple lives ago, I think it was. I was kind of talking about pack out systems. Now, I have to admit, and I love Ryobi. Okay. Now I can see you judging me for that already, but it's okay. But I don't know. I was 21. When I bought my first house that had an unfinished basement, I went to the store and I'm like, I'm going to need some tools. Let's finish it 100% myself.
Mm-hmm.
And really the most affordable tool at Home Depot at the time was Ryobi.
Of course.
And they had just came out with their like +1 system where it's like one battery, all these different tools. So I bought it and it worked good. I still have some of them now, about 18 years later, and they still work.
Yep.
And so over the years I've collected them, and I don't know, I maybe have every single one they make now, even though I haven't used half of them.
Of course.
I mean, my wife isn't impressed by it, but
Got the battery powered vest.
Yeah, no, I don't. But so my couple questions are, what is your tool of choice? Your battery powered tool of choice? What brand?
We have two.
Okay.
Personally, Milwaukee, I do the 18-volt stuff.
Okay.
The guys in the shop absolutely love Makita. So at work, we buy Makita. At home, I buy Milwaukee.
Okay.
And I haven't quite dove into every tool, but I have many. So
now I know when it comes to the Milwaukee tools, there's like the Milwaukee tool, and then there's like the same thing but a little different. There's a different name or like a name added to it. You know what I'm talking about?
I do not. There's two different batteries. There's the 12 and the 18.
Okay, no,
so there's like two different lines in that. But
okay, so I know it's the 18. Man, I don't know. Maybe you guys in the comments can help me out with that.
We might not get exposed to it in northern Michigan. Things take a while to get there. So
okay. So yeah, okay. But anyway, so you're a Milwaukee guy. Makita at work. Can't blame me at all.
No.
Talk to me about like the pack out systems. Do you have a pack out system?
We do not.
Not at home.
Just never got into those. No.
Okay. If you were to buy a pack out system, is there one that you would probably get?
Good question. I guess I would probably jump into the Milwaukee stuff. I mean, you're talking between Milwaukee and Makita?
Or any of the other brands?
Probably Milwaukee. That's been a pretty good tool for us. So,
yeah.
I mean, I have it. I don't think I've ever worn out anything Milwaukee.
Okay.
So if I was going to do that, I think I would continue with that one.
Makes sense. You're already a Milwaukee guy. So being a Ryobi guy, a few weeks ago, I was talking about how I don't like the Ryobi pack out stuff. Like it is kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't, it feels kind of cheap to me. I don't like how they connect.
Yep.
But I mean, how bad would it be? Okay, let's say you're at my house, or let's say you're even here, and I'm like, hey, we need to put this thing together or whatever. And I go and I wheel over my Milwaukee pack out and I open it up and I pull out some green Ryobi. Like, I mean, how bad are you judging me for that?
I would be disappointed because I'd be excited about Milwaukee.
Oh, it is so
now, if it was
true.
Opposite and you brought out Ryobi pack outs and then you pulled out Milwaukee tools, and
I know, and this is like my dilemma here, This is really my dilemma. I just could really, in my garage at my house, I just, between having my 2 vehicles in there and I have my tractor and then I have a bunch of attachments that I don't want to get, like my snowblower attachment. I just don't want it out in the weather,
Yep.
I don't have a ton of room. And so, without taking stuff out. So I just want to be able to kind of wheel the stuff around I need when I'm working on whatever, not go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yep.
But I just can't get myself to buy Milwaukee pack outs and put Ryobi in it. And I own too many Ryobis, I feel, to upgrade to Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm. Garage isn't color-coded Ryobi or anything, is it?
No.
We're not worried about that.
Oh,
some of those garages go pretty crazy, So.
They do. And I've looked at them. Okay, I have personally looked at so many Ryobi garage picks. Okay, like if you look at my search history, you're going to see it. It's a constant thing. Trying to convince myself to get the Ryobi pack outs.
You're far more into it than I am, I can tell you. So.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. But Jimmy J, hey, thank you for sending the photo. And the truth is, there's something to be said. I mean, would you agree? So Jimmy's pretty much saying, hey, I have some Hart ones, which I believe is a Walmart brand or sold at Walmart, that he keeps his tools in because it makes people who maybe are looking into something that shouldn't be to think maybe there's not a lot of value in them.
Yeah.
In the same way with Milwaukee.
No, that is well laid out. That's a really nice.
Isn't it clean?
There's one thing that sticks out to me in that picture, but
I know. I was seeing that too. I was like, whoa.
all good.
Absolutely. But hey, Jimmy, thank you for taking the time to not only leave the comment, but to send the pick in. Really appreciate it.
Nice work on the van.
All right, here we go. Comment of the week comes from Cody's Keys. Says, I want to have this dynamic with my kids when they're older and I can teach them the tools of the trade. You guys are great. Thank you. #Lockboss. Yeah. Cody's Keys. Hey, thanks for the comment. Very kind of you to say that. And yeah, you know, I mean, in my case, you know, I was lucky to have a dad. He's talking about a previous video that my dad and I were talking about different stuff in. And, you know, I just had the fortunate thing to have a dad who was a locksmith who took me around a lot. And yeah, it's kind of one of those weird things that you grow up and it's kind of all you know. And yeah, it's been a good experience. And I hope if that's something you're trying to do, that you can also have the same experience. Phil, I have a funny feeling that you had a similar upbringing that I did when you were a kid.
I did, yes. About 25 years earlier, but yes,
yeah.
I did.
And it just so happened, I mean, my dad, you know, the lockfather is awesome and has done a really good job with his locksmithing businesses and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your dad invented a bulletproof machine and is highly regarded by all.
Yeah, he did well for
Right?
himself. Yep. And I didn't realize any of that growing up. I just knew that we had a lock shop. I didn't understand anything about the key machines as a young kid, but all I knew is I had to do a lot of work there to clean and do all the basic stuff that we all started out doing. And yeah.
And it's funny, kind of having a dad who's passionate about the industry. I didn't realize it at the time as a young kid. But over the time, they embed so much knowledge into you that when you get older, you're like, hey, you know, you're like, I mean, when you were 10, were you hoping to run Framon?
No, didn't have any interest in that. I don't know that I had any interest in a whole lot of things at 10.
Yeah, right. You know, but I mean, kind of the same with me. So, but it's funny because of the information that kind of gets embedded in you as a kid. All of a sudden, I don't know about you, I just found myself having a passion for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And that's grown as I've gotten older, obviously. But yeah, as a young kid, when I went away to college, my plan was to become an engineer and to work in Alaska. That was my goal. Yeah. But yeah, things changed a little bit. So
yeah.
I found out I was not engineering material. So
yeah. I mean, you know, when I was 10, I pretty much wanted to score touchdowns the way Deion Sanders did.
Yep.
And I hadn't quite figured out I didn't have the same body type. You know, I was more of a lineman kind of guy, you know.
That's right.
Oh, good stuff. All right. So, of course, hey, we have Phil in the house. I'm going to scroll through the comments here and ask a couple questions. But Phil, so first of all, it's great to have you back. I've enjoyed your company all day and talking. Awesome. And, you know, and I've kind of teased a few times on the channel now live about this secret I have product coming out in a few months. And you and I got to spend some time with it today.
We did.
And do you think people are going to like it?
I think, yes. I think it'll be a great product for you.
Awesome.
I do. Yep.
That's what I like to hear.
You're a little crazy for going through all that, but yeah, it'll be. Yeah, you got 3 lifetimes of work in one thing.
Yep, pretty much. So it's been fun hanging out and talking about stuff. And not only is it fun catching up with you, but you have a couple different new products.
We do.
And I'd like to, you know, if you don't mind taking a few minutes, kind of
sure.
Talking about them. And while you're talking to everybody about them, I'm going to kind of scroll through here really quick and pick out some comments.
All right. Yeah, so I'll just kind of, one thing we've come out with, this is in the Blue Dog line, is just some T-handle covers. There are 7 different covers we have. They take care of all the different Bauer. These are basically just covers that go on top of your T-handles, tonneau covers, that type of thing, the big, the small. Again, there's 7 different sizes. We sell them, I think, for $75 for a pack of 35, which is 5 of each of the different 7 different styles. So you can see those on the Blue Dog website. I think PJ is going to probably be adding those pictures here in a little bit. The other tool that we came out with recently, and we didn't really invent this or anything. This is a Ford tool made by Tom Thill. Tom is a pretty busy automotive locksmith in Chicago. Does a lot of key origination and things like that. In-dash Ford ignitions. What's the years here? 2015 up to 2024. This tool on an in-dash ignition, the 8 and the 10 wafer. The tool allows you to pop the retainer up, pull the cylinder out. You can decode it at that point, figure out the cuts on the key, originate the key for it, slide it back in, push the retainer back down, and program the key up, and you've got a key made for it. From what I've been told, the first few people that have looked at these, a lot of difficulty in leashing the 10 wafer system. So this works for the HE198 and the HE101 system. Again, it's 2015 on up. Primarily F-Series pickup trucks, also works with the Bronco.
Very cool. Yeah. And of course, Phil and I, before we came on live here, actually recorded a video about it. I'll try to get that video out here in a couple weeks. And then, it should be good. So hopefully it'll, especially after you see the video we put out, should be pretty helpful.
Yep.
If you're doing that type of work. So Vaughn Rez asks, are you going to put together a video that shows all of the features of the Framon 2? I just got one. Well, first of all, hey, thank you for buying one from both of us.
Yep, right? Absolutely.
And so if you go onto our YouTube channel and just type in Framon 2, I've done a bunch of videos outlining, I don't know, probably as much as I could.
Yep.
I think with the Framon 2.
Right. We've talked about it a lot.
Yep. And so, of course, awesome machine, really cool. You got one, and man, have fun cutting accurate keys. It's just awesome. And by the way, who doesn't? I mean, I'd turn the dials all day long just to pull the lever. I just love how that's set up, you know? It's just so nice, you know? There's just something about that straight on action that just gives, I mean, anyone who has used a machine or has experienced the different angle cutting.
Right. Radial feed.
Yep. Radial feed. It's just a different experience and a different accuracy for sure.
That was all my dad. He absolutely insisted on that. So
let's see here. I'm just scrolling through here. Just want to make sure. George Blair asks, hey, George, how's it going? He says, can Framon make a slightly smaller version of the flat steel machine?
Can we? Yes. Will we soon? Probably not. We are so far behind in our design team and machine shop right now. Trying to get anything new out would be very difficult.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense here. Yeah. And Ryder Locksmith is with me on that. Ryobi pack out isn't built that well. Let's see.
Well, there you go. That'll.
Yeah. There you go. Jimmy J. Iowa Left Dog. How's it going? Yes, Cheryl says it's awesome that Phil is in the CLK studio with PJ instead of joining via Zoom. I agree.
Oh, you should see what I see out the window. So it's always awesome. If you have never been to this part of Idaho, well worth seeing.
Yeah, come hang out for sure. Let's see here. Keith says started being a locksmith at 21, now 41 years later. I have Norwich Locksmith and Village Locksmith. Very cool.
Yeah.
See here. You know, Phil, it's always hard. You know, like I have a hard time like trying to talk and read comments at the same time.
We discussed that earlier. We both like to get one job and get it done.
Yeah. Strausers is saying, Phil, what is that? Talking about my secret project. He says he'll buy a Framon 2 if you tell him.
I'm going to keep that quiet.
Yeah. S&M Lock and Key says, how about the blue Bauer control key?
Bauer does not let us sell control keys. You can find them online, which if you find them online, usually they get shut down pretty quick. But Bauer will not sell those to anybody. They won't sell them to locksmiths. I don't know why they'll sell them to RV dealers, but not locksmiths. But so yeah, one of our employees does have a Bauer lock on his fifth wheel, and he said that the Global Link control key pulled the core out. I think that he either said the Global Link control key pulled the core out or the Global Link master key opened the lock. I think he said the other one pulled the core out. But if you check with me, shoot me an email, I'll find that out from phil@framon.com, and I can verify that.
Okay.
So,
yeah, Norwich Locksmith says on the Framon 2 is how, it says on the Framon 2, how is it to cut all IC core locks like best levels A2, A3, A4? And can I put my 2 cents in?
you can, yep.
So because of its accuracy, it's amazing, but even better. And I did a video on this. If you add the SFIC jaw, which holds the keys differently, which can do any keyway, by the way, because of how it clamps down on the key and keeps it nice and flat.
Yep.
It's about as good as you can get.
And it always, we've had that vice out for about 30 years now, and it's never been copied. And it's not patented, but it surprises me that nobody's copied the way that we do that. So instead of grabbing the key kind of like 2 pancakes, like this, the vice actually grabs it like this. And so the blade of the key is in this area right here. It doesn't matter what the profile looks like at the back of the vice. So it's not really gripping the keyway.
Yeah, it's literally
gripping the blade.
Gripping it on the blade between the cuts.
Correct.
Which is kind of like the first time you use it, and it'll kind of barely scuff the jaw. Yep. And it's always scary, the first time you put it in there, uh-oh.
Yep. But yeah, that makes it easy work, and then you don't have to worry about the profiles or shimming keys or anything like that. So yeah, we actually designed that. Best came to us years ago and wanted us to make a key machine for him, and that's why we made that vice out.
Okay, very cool. S&M Lucky Key asks, bringing back any other A1 security tool? That's a good question.
Maybe. There's one on the drawing board right now. So,
there is,
but again, that's a while out. So
does it?
It's not the pack-a-punch in case anybody's asking.
Oh, I was just gonna say, does it rhyme with
no?
Decadunch. Oh man. Let's see here. Yeah, so many people saying love my Framon 2, getting better at using it all the time.
Excellent.
SFIC jaw rocks. I like it. Cool. Well, that's really is there any new key machines? We've had several comments in your basket about any new key machines Framon's coming out with.
Yep. So right now it's no big secret, but we are working on at some point in the near future, I would like to kind of retool the number 2 a little bit, just kind of update the look of it a touch, maybe add a light to it. A lot of people complain some of the time on the spacing blocks being hard to read. So I'd like to try and come up with a little better solution with that. We've been talking about our computerized machine just got a new control box, and we might expand on that a little bit and make that do a few more things. It's just a cylinder code machine at this time, but that one's probably next up for a little bit of a revamp. We have a duplicator in the works, a semi-automatic duplicator, probably a year out, 6 months to a year, I would guess. So yeah, some different things, but
okay.
So updates to a few and some new ideas as well. So
cool.
Yeah, always working on something.
Absolutely. Yeah. So a comment here says, comment for Phil. Thank you for your quick response when I emailed. I had that small issue with the G-code software on my new computer, and you responded so fast and connected me with your developer. Thanks.
Oh, great. Perfect. Yep. As it should be.
Yes. And okay. Quick pick 007. We need more Framon automatic videos.
That might be what we're working on.
Really?
That's okay. Hurdy-gurdy. There's a comment about the hurdy-gurdy. So I have the drawings for the hurdy-gurdy. We're looking at that right now.
That'd be cool.
Right now, machine shop time is the biggest problem. So getting everything in, and but yeah. So I'm playing around with that one right now to see if it's going to make sense for us to do that.
Cool.
So
let me see. We need more Framon automatic videos. Well, the good news is we use the Framon automatic machine here. So it wouldn't be hard to whip up a few videos. Phil, so actually, let's talk about this live for a second. So if you were me and you were going to do some videos on the Framon automatic machine, what are the couple features you think that I should highlight? So hey, it's the beginning of a video right here.
Right? So the ITL has always been a great machine. Everybody loves ITLs, and I think ITLs are fantastic. The one difference in our computerized machine compared to an ITL has an onboard computer. You punch in your number for whatever and again, I think with an ITL, unless you have a memorize, you still need a reference guide. If you're going to get a Chicago key, you need to know that it's number 93 or whatever. Then you need to know what insert and things like that. I think it tells you on the screen, but our automatic machine runs off a generic code. So it's very intuitive. You just punch in your key code and hit cut key after you load the key blank. So it's a little bit, you do need a computer to run the machine. Cut's a beautiful key. We're still using the prototype from 1997 in our shop. That machine has had a couple of facelifts. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I think a little bit easier to use than with an ITL. And again, I'm not knocking an ITL. An ITL they make an amazing machine. So if I was going to pick a second machine for our shop, it would be an ITL.
What I personally love most and why we started using the automatic machine is because I feel like it's like generic code unlocked. That's how when you're in it feels it, because you have so much control and freedom over the names of cards. You can put any sort of bidding or depth information, and it's just handy.
One of the things people have mentioned to me is adding a new series, like you mentioned, or modifying a series or something like that. A lot of guys I know do quickset master keying, quickset spacing with Schlage depths. So that's a 20-second procedure in generic code to do that and set that card up or however you want to set it up. Just little things like that. So the machine is, very capable. Realistically, it's just a printer. It's hooked up to generic code. It does whatever generic code tells it to do. So.
That's a good way to look at it. You're right. I mean, pretty much it's like hitting the print button and the key gets cut. That's a good way to say it. But yeah, it's really nice having the generic code. It's almost like once you use the generic code with your machine, you're like, man, this has some features. And so many people, I know some of my staff, they like to rename cards, or they'll copy an existing card, let's call it, and then they'll name it differently, and they might change a few little things for whatever, right? And so I think that's it's pretty cool. So I need to do a couple videos on that.
Yeah, we ran into it a while back. One of our cylinders that we were using, and I'm not going to say which one, but one of our restricted key systems, the cylinders weren't quite right. So we had to modify all of the depths to kind of match the cylinder because the stack wasn't right. So
that's cool. You could do that.
Yeah. So I mean, it just takes a couple seconds. And in one case, if you're using one machine, you would go in and you would make a change to how deep it cuts. But that's like a global change for the entire machine. So every key you cut is now going to cut 3 or 4 thousandths deeper, however you set it. With generic code, you just go into the one chart, modify your depths. Maybe you copy the chart, leave the original there, make the enhanced version, and then change that. And so you have both of them sitting there.
Absolutely. It's really handy just to be able to copy a card, do what you want. You can save it or delete it when you're done. Keep the originals there. It's really good. So Carl Lewis says recently got G code. I love it.
Somebody was asking about a barrel key machine. I assume they're talking about tubular keys. Yeah, besides the hurdy-gurdy. So we do have a tubular code machine, the TKM 100. It's a code machine. It is not a duplicator, but probably the most expensive machine out there. But a lot of the vending companies and tubular lock manufacturers actually use the TKM to cut keys. Once you know the cuts, it takes about 30 seconds to cut the keys. So pretty quick and easy.
Now Gustavo says, hey Phil, bring PJ for this year's Yankee show.
Hey, there you go.
Let's see. That's really good. Hurdy-gurdy. Yeah. Good stuff.
I do not have a hurdy-gurdy to look at, so if somebody has one that they want to slide my way, that would be perfect.
Oh, you need one?
Well, it would be if we had one. I'll have to round one up if we're actually going to go into production on it. But yeah. So anyway, don't everybody get too excited about that. It's on the drawing board, but it's not in motion yet, I would say.
So should we just start calling you every Tuesday live and asking
status updates? Yeah, we'll just get a chart in the background and we can just PKM, here we
are. Story Bear says, I threw a Framon 2 off the Space Needle. Sorry to say, but the Framon 2 was off by a half thousandths when I got a key on it. Shame on you.
I know who that is. Hello, Barry.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, hey, man, we've already been going for 30 minutes. Crazy. Good stuff. We'll and I can't talk all of a sudden, but Phil, so hey, thank you once again, honestly, for coming on, hanging out with us. And it's always great to see you. And let's hop on here and let's announce this week's winners. Now, of course, in order to do that, Julio, go ahead and put some tunes on. Thank you very much. And before we announce this week's winners, let's talk about what to do if you win. You're going to want to email us your shipping info to sales@CLKsupplies.com or call us at 800-848-6989 and we'll send your gifts soon. How to win. Comment on our videos with the hashtag Lockboss. Winners will be chosen from comments on the previous week's videos for our weekly giveaway. No purchase necessary. Lily, thanks for adding that in there. And without further ado, here we go. Winner number 1 is...
Let's give everybody, how many winners do you have? 5?
5.
So let's add a 6-month generic code online subscription for all your winners.
Oh, very cool. Hey, Kylie, hear that? That's good stuff. Well, Phil, thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Just give me some names and email addresses and we can get that set up for you.
Perfect. So yeah, so not only are you going to receive items from us, Phil is giving everyone, all the 5 winners, a 6-month free generic code of G Code Online. So very cool. Thanks, Phil.
Yep. So whoever wins should set up a trial account on gcodeonline.com and then just email me to tell me they were one of the 5 winners.
Okay. Very cool. Well, thank you. And of course, the first winner here is Gary H. Needle TX.
It looks like Handle without the A.
Oh, Handle. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, so many times, like every week, like I have like years of butchering names on here. Oh, hey, here we go. John Falk, 6955. John, congrats. I just saw you on live here. Very cool. Hey, congratulations. Winner number 3 is the Keyman 12. Congratulations. Winner number 4 is Wilbert 2010. Congrats. And last but not least, winner number 5 this week is Herschel Forty. Herschel Forty, congratulations. And of course, we actually just rolled out our new Lockboss Old School 14-inch tool bag and utility roll. Both are Carhartt, which is pretty cool. And of course, you can purchase them separately or you can get them for free when you order $555.55 and up.
Get your own pack outs.
Yes, we should, right? That'd be pretty cool, everybody. Hey, so, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. Phil, thanks for being here. Congrats to all the 5 lucky winners. Make sure that you contact us, and you're also going to get a free 6-month G Code Online. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, and I see there, guys, looks like I'm about 22 comments behind here, but thank you, everyone, for hanging out. And of course, Julio's going to leave you with a little bit of music here in just a minute. And we'll see you same place, same time next week. We got some good videos coming out. Can't wait to share them with you. So y'all have a good evening. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.